Well, welcome back to the Fox Local Book Club. Joining us today, best-selling author Michael O'Donnell, whose new novel, Concert Black, takes on the concept of legacy and who gets to tell our stories. Thanks, Michael, for joining us.
Hi, Linda. Good to be with you.
So Concert Black takes us into this atmospheric and sometimes cutthroat world of classical music, and it centers on a relentless biographer and an elusive subject. So tell us more.
Yeah, so Ellen Rowe is the main character of the novel. She's a writer, she's a biographer, as you say, and she sets out to write the story of a famous conductor, Cecil Woodbridge, who is the music director of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. But Cecil has a long-buried secret, and if it comes out, he'll be ruined. So the novel follows Ellen as she pursues Cecil, and it follows him as he evades her until eventually the two of them collide.
Sounds like a little bit of a cat and mouse game. Where'd you get your inspiration for this?
Well, before I began writing books, I was writing about books. I've reviewed books as a book critic for over 20 years, and I've written a lot about biographies, and I've always been interested in this sort of prickly tango that takes place between a writer and a subject of a biography. You know, it's a natural tension there. The writer wants to tell the story, the full story, especially the juicy parts, and the person being written about wants to present a certain appearance and look after their legacy. And so there's a natural tension there. And I thought, what if we raised the stakes a little bit, and not just something embarrassing that might come out or something that's a little unseemly, but something that might actually ruin a person if it came out in their biography. What would that person do to stop that book from being published?
Reminds me, Michael, a little of journalism. So the book spans across continents and decades, from post-war London to symphonic stages of Boston and Chicago. Were these specific settings vital?
Very much. I've lived in all three places. London very briefly when I was a child. But they all have incredible musical infrastructure. Chicago and Boston have two of the most storied symphony orchestras in the United States. And London, where about half the book takes place, has a wonderful conservatory called the Royal Academy of Music. And so part of the book takes place there just after the Second World War. You know, a lot of books and stories, movies take place in London during the war, the Blitz, but fewer stories after the war. And it's an interesting time of rebuilding, of austerity, but also for the characters in Concert Black, it's a time of opportunity, seeing a chance and taking it.
So I'm curious, you were a reviewer and now an author. Do you view writing like music? Does it need to have a rhythm?
Very much so, absolutely. I think words are like notes. And I tend to write and build up words into phrases, phrases into sentences, into paragraphs, and I'm a tinkerer. I will fiddle with passages in this book, some of them 30, 40 times until I get it right. And like music, I think there's a technique to it, but there's also something sort of intangible about getting that rhythm just right, and you know it when you hear it.
Right, you have to like the way it sounds. Concert Black, I'm sure that has a meaning, but I'm not sure what it is.
Well, it's a shorthand for classical musicians. Concert Black is the all-black attire that classical musicians wear when they perform, and it sort of suggests this tense moment before the curtain goes up. You know, not just that excitement and that drama of that moment, but all that goes into making it happen, all the sacrifice, all the practice room hours. And there's also perhaps an additional meaning in the sense that Cecil Woodbridge is sort of a scoundrel.
Oh, we have about 30 seconds left. What is the theme, or what do you really want readers to leave with after they finish your book?
You know, one of my favorite things is to see how readers react to my books. And what I try to do is tell a story. You know, tell a story full of drama and incident, and full of complex characters, ambition, biography, music, as you say. I mentioned that Cecil is a scoundrel, and people keep coming up to me and telling me that they can't stand the guy, but a secret is that I kind of love it.
And they can't stop reading about him, so there you go. Concert Black by Michael O'Donnell. You can find it wherever you buy your books. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Linda.